What better way to celebrate and recognise the magic at Walt Disney World than through the cast members? Those who possibly make your Disney moments into memories that can last forever. Not only do we celebrate the roles, but we'll look at the amazing detail in their costumes, working uniforms, and their amazing impact on your next visit to Orlando. It's Wednesday. It's the Great British Mickey Waffle. And when I find the right button, just here, we're live.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
There we go, it's Wednesday, and we've got guests. Claire, thank you very much for joining us, because actually we nearly didn't have a show tonight, so it's actually it's one of those things.
We always have a show. We can talk about anything, John. It's not an issue.
Yeah, I think we need to remember that as well, don't we? Like, you know, it's the whole fact that we have a reputation, and we're determined to keep
I'm
it.
okay with that.
Yeah, so am I. I'm quite happy. Give me an hour to talk about Disney. It's better than most of the other hours that I have to contend with in the entire week. So, yeah, I'll settle for that. How are you? I'll start with politeness.
I am okay. I have no more work till Tuesday, so things are looking up.
Oh, hey, there we go. That's even better. Hey, I like that.
But I'm going to be heckled this evening, and I can feel it already. It's going to happen.
Is that because Morg's on the show? There we go.
It might well be.
It might well be, yeah. So, yeah. If we're talking about cast members, we thought, what better way than actually getting two former cast members to join us? So, welcome, Morg. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, pleasure.
We've also got Josh. Yeah, I should really, give you about half an hour to do the
you do
tech,
what Ben
and I'll
does by forgetting to mention Becca until like 10 minutes in.
Which is better than I've been recently, I must admit. That's why I was determined to welcome you in first, because I'm very aware the past few weeks. I've left you as last on the list, and then
And I have to say, I think,
really impolite.
Can I start by saying we're here tonight, and Robin and Simon were due to be here. They're not here, and that's, I'm sure that people have seen Robin's stories on Instagram and Facebook, and sadly, her mum last week did pass away. So we sent all our love to Robin and Simon. It's a difficult time, so sending love and hugs and all of those things to Robin and Simon and their families. So,
absolutely.
They'll be with us when they're with us.
And it also means that the show that we were going to do tonight with Robin and Simon, we'll have for a future time as well. So
right, and obviously Ben and Becca are still in Orlando, so they're all doing epic things in Epic and having fun and having breakfast in Kiki's and Hash House Go Go and all of that stuff.
Yeah, and that for me was a
little bit provoking, isn't it, when you see that?
I know. When you sort of at the middle of a working day and you've got like someone's having breakfast and you're just like, it is one of them Roy Kent moments of the week.
Yeah. Ted Lasso reference. Excellent.
Yeah. So
we've got some friends in the chat, John. Already.
We certainly have, and it's nice because actually I know we say it towards the very end of the show, and it's always a case that this show is not about us, it's about people in the chat, and actually you guys having a chat and actually being part of the show. So it's lovely to see, and it's also really nice to see someone who's brand new in the chat as well.
Absolutely. But in hot, as always, was Heather. Nice to see you, Heather. Thank you.
Quite literally, probably hotter than everybody else if she's in California, and Ben and Becca are at Sub-Zero in Orlando as well. So yeah, welcome, Heather.
And I reckon Heather was probably on the YouTube channel before I joined the call. To be honest.
Heather's always absolutely
Oh, they beat
on
me.
the money.
On the money.
She's always
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I'm sure she. And actually, a fair play to Heather, because actually I know fine well that everything that you actually share with us, and again I go back to the Spectro Magic stuff that you sent and put in the Waffler's arms a couple of weeks ago. It means so much to us, and it's that crossing so many different miles.
We're 6 minutes in and you've mentioned Spectro Magic.
Yeah, it's pretty good, that,
New
isn't it?
record.
New record, yeah.
I actually found a promo photograph of Spectro on
Amazing.
Twitter earlier, so I've saved that just to
Fantastic.
add to my collection. I know you just love it so much. Shall I go with this? And it's actually it's Izzy Calderwood from the UK. Her and her partner have got 180 days until their first ever Walt Disney World trip. Your podcast has been such a joy to listen to, so thank you very much. Izzy,
Wow.
thank you very much for actually listening to the podcast and actually finding us on a Wednesday night as well. That is such an amazing thing that we can actually help when you're planning and be part of your planning.
And Izzy's going to be there at the same time as the rest of us, my maths.
I was just thinking that as well. So yeah, Izzy, it might well be. I'll keep some beer mats for you, and we'll arrange some form of meet up and things like that. That would be really quite cool.
Who else we got?
It makes the world smaller.
Making friends.
Yeah.
Wendy, welcome in, and Karen here, as always. Thank you so
Oh,
much
yeah.
for joining us. And then Colton is here. Thank you for joining us, Colton. Always good to have you in the chat. And Karen says she hopes Ben and Becca are coping with the cold weather. Well, you know what? You'll be there in 3 days. I'm hoping it warms up for you, Karen. That cold snap should have blown away by then, I hope.
Yeah,
But not long.
definitely.
I
Still
hope
warmer
you
than
packed your
here.
bags. I'm sure you're very excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really good call. And as well, I'm trying to navigate my way around. I've got that many things in front of me here. Yeah. When you get kind of I'm tripping over myself with so many different screens and bits
Trying
and
to go
bobs.
high-tech.
I am. Yeah, I'm not succeeding. It's not a good.
John's got the power tonight.
Yeah, but I just deleted my actual Word version of what I was going to do for the news and things like that. You know. And it's
It's
just like,
deja vu.
boom. Yeah, I know. No, it's just
1st
like,
of December all over
I
again.
know.
Yeah,
It's just
right.
like, oh, good
That's
grief.
without the swearing.
I'm always on best behaviour on a Wednesday. That's it. You know.
We got
Yeah.
news.
We've got not lots of news. We've got a bit of news, but we've also
Do I
got
have
some
to try
really.
and find the news thingy?
No, I'm on
Have
to
you
that,
got it?
Claire. Look, yeah, I'm going to pretend that I'm really tech savvy. Yeah, I'm sure that's why. You know when Ben and Becca go away, it's why our ratings absolutely go up. They
Yeah.
soar.
It's like
'Cause-
that
'cause people-
Schadenfreude of seeing people.
Yeah, it's people just enjoy
Not
having a
succeeding
laugh at
very
me
well.
trying to make sure that I make a mess of
How
stuff and
not to
things
do a
like that.
live show on YouTube.
So
Come and join us.
It's like the show that goes wrong on
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
stage
yeah,
show.
it is. Yeah,
Deliberate.
yeah.
It's all planned, everyone.
Exactly, exactly. Right, ready. Here we go.
Or not. Spoke too soon.
So good. I played it twice. There you go.
Oh, my life.
I was going to stop it. It stops automatic. Look at that. There you go. Do you know what? I'm going to start with the best news, and it relates back to what we talked about last week, because we're talking about the reintroduction of the afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian. Now, at that point of the show last week, we didn't know how much this was going to cost. So,
I
lo
made
and
a
behold,
bold claim, didn't I?
I
I said I thought it was going to cost $129 per adult plus tax.
yeah, which
And
actually.
John Self was in the chat and he told me
Yeah.
he thought I was being fairly conservative.
Oh no, it was Mark Sheffield.
Oh, Mark Sheffield.
It's
sorry.
Mark Sheffield. It was Mark, yeah. Which I actually felt you were on the money. I thought you actually had a really good
Yeah,
level of what the price would be.
I was
And-
wrong. Like, way wrong. In a
Yeah.
positive way. Because
Yeah, but let's go on the positive way, because actually it was when the news came out on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Once again, I actually felt, oh, someone at Disney's actually trying to prove us wrong again.
Tell us.
$79 per adult
Plus tax.
and $49 for it. Yeah, and $49 for a child aged 3 to 9 for sandwiches and a cup of tea. Right?
See,
Okay.
we've discussed this
Yeah.
already.
So go on, Josh.
Before you reel off the positives, and
We're a positive show. That's what we try to do.
yeah, but,
I'm more intrigued now. Right now, you've turned 21.
yeah.
What's your first barrier point? It's like, how much is the booze? There we go.
Well,
and that's it. That's it.
My point being, if you go in the Grand Floridian and you're going for an afternoon tea, most afternoon teas that I would take part in over here would probably include a glass of Prosecco. So I was thinking $79 for a glass of Prosecco, maybe a cup of tea. I don't drink tea, but a cup of tea, a few sandwiches and a little bit of cake. I thought $79 not too bad. But then I saw that the cheapest glass of bubbly on top of that was beyond $20. So actually, if you want a glass of Tattinger, it's $32 if that's going to go alongside your afternoon tea. So actually, Claire's ballpark figure of how much your afternoon tea is going to cost you is pretty much bang on. You add your $32 on top of your afternoon tea, plus your tax, plus your gratuity. For some sandwiches and a glass of bubbly,
You've been
you're
out
looking
for
at
too many
about
bottomless brunches.
you're looking at $140 for a glass of bubbly
I can tell you from experience
and some sandwiches.
that a glass of Tattinger or Titanger, as they say in France, does not cost you that in the wine shop in the France Pavilion. Because
No.
I had one in December.
Yeah.
It's like maybe $21, I think,
Yeah.
maybe for Tattinger. Veuve Clicquot's like 18, so yeah, they've definitely hiked the price up for that in the Grand Floridian, so that's where they're making their money.
Yeah.
And I have to say, looking at the menus, I still think the kids' menu looks infinitely better than the adult one. I would really like to have the kids one rather than the adult one.
I think it always has been. Yeah, I remember we did it years ago with the kids, and actually,
Chocolate milk in the teapot.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was just loads of little things and like peanut butter sandwiches and stuff. Yeah.
I get it's in the Grand Floridian, but I just think for a cup of tea and a sandwich, for $79,
And a dry scone.
Yeah.
because they're not going to do it the way that we would do it over here. With,
No. It's not
it's
going
gonna
to be
be
traditional English tea, is it?
no, it does just seem a little bit steep for what it is.
It is,
I'll
you
take
can
it.
get
Tea has been
mug.
put in the microwave.
You can get Twining's breakfast tea mug, but that's not going to swing it, I don't think, as well. Like,
It's
but
not
nice
Yorkshire
idea.
tea, is it?
No, it's not, and it's actually. I actually would go down the positive bit, like we said last week. It's actually great to see that part of the Grand Floridian back open again, and when they roll the orchestra or the band back in up the stairs, just to play. I think we're then on to a winner. If only pigs might fly, but
Yeah.
hey ho. Anyway, talking about pigs flying and things like that, and old musicians making a re-entry.
Are we talking about Steve
Yeah.
Tyler and his mates?
Yeah, walking this way for a last shout of free tickets and
Loving an elevator.
let's make it a super stretch. Yeah, Aerosmith, and this is really I actually found this quite uncomfortable to watch because they actually
Did they
it
go
was
on
as
the
if
ride? Surely they wouldn't fit the criteria anymore. Do you have back problems, heart problems? I don't think I would be willing to underwrite Steve Tyler riding at his age.
I'm not sure. We didn't get to see that bit. I could actually, I'm not gonna say what.
The risk assessment was too much.
Yeah. Maybe If I say what I'm about to say, it might be libelous, and they've got good lawyers, so I won't make any mention of that. But yeah. But they were there. Basically to hand over the reins to the Muppets. Speaking of whom, and this actually was one of my highlights of this week, because actually as you look at Disney News and you look at the return of the Muppet Show,
Yes.
and how they've actually nailed that first trailer as a basically, if you don't watch it, we're not coming back for good. It's just like, feel sorry for us because actually it's all or nothing here. But to get Sabrina Carpenter into this and to actually, it just looks amazing. I don't know what you guys think, but I've got to say it ticked every box for me.
I think the target audience by bringing Sabrina Carpenter in is probably going to be a different target audience to the Muppets, and I think to get it out across as many people as possible, I think that's a good way forward. I think
they've got Seth Rogen producing it as well, who's a great actor producer, done a lot of things. He was in the Mario movie as Donkey Kong, so actually there's some really big profile names coming into it. So,
and actually I think it's a big thing for Disney Plus as well. I think something consistent being uploaded onto there, I think something which would make you want to have a Disney Plus subscription, all the time. If that's being uploaded, I think it's a positive thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's also that it loops into the attraction. It's going to help lengthen the lines.
Yeah.
And eat up some guests.
And hopefully put Muppet Vision 3D back in next door as well.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Wishful thinking, mate.
I actually wonder though, and this is, I know we've spoken many times about songs that we'd like to go in there, but if you brought the music in the ride bang up to date with artists like Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter,
could you have the Muppets covering songs by?
Possibly.
Yeah.
But
Miss Piggy doing Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, that's how you could really generate some interest.
But again, that would actually. Yeah, but again, you're then in the realms of turning around to maybe young children and saying, you're not quite tall enough. You're going to have to wait another year until you come back. And
I know exactly what you're about to say.
Yeah, it might. It might not be.
I was going to say Kermit is Harry Styles.
I was going to say Miss Piggy.
That's what I was going to go with.
Piggy Club.
Not chaperone, but yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Right, it would be great. I think the Muppet Show coming back, Muppet attraction that's going to be, in theory, in place by the summer.
Yeah, so it should be open by the summer.
Really quick overlay redo.
Oh yeah,
so.
as long as they don't make a butchers of it like they did in Paris. That's all.
Yeah.
Before we go to Paris, can I just mention as well, in Animal Kingdom, we were talking a few weeks, I think it's been before Christmas, we were talking about the Harambe market being closed, and we were talking about the fact, and I think John Self, this is maybe where you were getting John Self from, Claire, as well, but he'd mentioned in the chat, don't hold your breath on them actually plussing the actual food offering. And they've revealed today they're actually going to reopen that area about a month ahead of schedule. And the actual food offerings, it's just basically, you might as well go to Mackey's if I'm being honest. It's just like burger, chicken and fries, and it's lost that individuality that it had. And
they used to do really good corn, like a bit like the elote you get in Mexico, but it was like it was roasted corn on the cob with like African spices. I've had it a couple of times. It was really good.
Yeah, I just think again, we're going back to that generic food offering, and I don't, and people know I don't like it. I know lots of other people don't like it. The one thing I would say while we're in Animal Kingdom as well is the amount of love that I've seen over the past few days as Dinosaur reaches its final week. I just feel that it's getting a proper send off, and
Maelstrom all over again.
I just think it's lovely. It really is, and I go back to when you guys were out there, and I actually felt that was going to be our very last chance. Our very last chance, and just of actually seeing it. I'm distracted by the chat. I'll come back to the chat in a second. And actually, to get a chance last year going to see it, and now to know it's closing, we've had that little bit of a goodbye. We've got someone in the chat who actually, this is really nice because it's someone from Kelowna in Canada, and it's Gordon Marnie, who are family friends of ours, and actually it's so nice. Thank you, Gord. For actually join us in the chat. I know it's across.
I was really confused because I read that as Great See John and Josh live in Canada. I was like,
yeah. Oh no,
what am I missing?
Yeah,
I thought they'd gone on like a road trip or something and then doing GB Mickey Waffle live in Canada. I was like, where's Orange by?
Now I tell you what, if we think it's cold here, and Ben and Becca think it's cold in Orlando,
There's
Those
nothing.
those guys are
Where's
seriously
Kelowna?
mid. Right, so if you
I
picture
can look it up. Don't worry.
picture the expanse of Canada.
Uh-huh.
Go to Vancouver on the left,
Yeah.
and then drive for 5 hours to the right hand side,
Yeah.
and you get Kelowna,
Nice.
middle of British Columbia, but
Nice.
it's darn cold.
I bet it is. Yeah.
And actually, God had emailed me the other day, and I haven't got back around to it. But what he did say, it's at that time of year where you go outside, and actually, the hairs on the inside of your nose freeze up. It is that
I have
cold.
so many questions about that, but I'm not going to
I don't know if that's an experience that I'm here for, to be honest.
I know.
Should we move on?
I think we might. But
Good to
God,
see you, Gordon, man.
God,
Anyway,
thank you for joining us. Absolutely brilliant. It really is. So this is it. I actually think we're hitting little. We should have a world map while we're doing this show. So we've got Heather in California. We've got Gord in Canada. This is great. Let's go to Paris. Because today I'm going to let Josh and Morg have a chat about this, because you guys have done a bit of prep on this as well. But Disneyland Paris unveiled a map for Disney's Adventure World.
Yeah.
name is very uninspiring, but the park looks brilliant. I think for the first time.
I mean, there you go, mate.
As I was going to say, I think for the first time in the history of Disneyland Paris, they have a proper 2 parks on the go. It's not a park and a half anymore. I think this is the expansion to this park looks brilliant. I think the future of what is around it could be quite interesting too.
So looking at that lake in the middle, I mean, they've got the show that's going to go there. What's it called? It's the Adventure Bay Spectacular Show.
Yeah,
something like that. Where around that lake. But if you look at the map they put on Instagram today, there's loads of space with almost, if you think of it like the Epcot lake, the World Showcase Lake.
Yeah.
You've got World of Frozen where the US is, and you've got all this space around the side of the lake towards Toy Story and Ratatouille and towards Avengers Campus. So really, it looks like when they start bringing in Lion King, they start bringing in all of that. It looks like it could be a DLP Epcot in a way, which looks interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Crush's Coaster is going to get any shorter line.
Well, we were discussing this today, weren't we? The rides that have gone in there look like they're quite slow loading. It looks like they're going to be very popular as well for a long time. I'm interested to see the future of the park, because I think there's scope to expand, but then I think there's a lot of love that's needing to be put into the main Disneyland park, because that has been kind of left to one side for a little while now. They've kind of gone the opposite way, whereas now you have a fully functioning second park. I think you possibly need to move your attentions back across to
TLC,
the main park, but it's a good start. It does look good.
And I have to say, if they keep going the way they've gone with Avengers Campus and with the way that World of Frozen looks from all the promo videos, they bring that approach to everything else they're building in Adventureland, and if they're bringing that over to Disneyland Park as well, to give it a refresh, give it a refurb that I think it desperately needs in terms of polish, then I think it could end up being that DLP might be worth that sort of higher price point again.
Very possible. I think the big thing coming with the Lion King as well, I think this is the first time since Ratatouille they've built their own ride again, and they've had their own real selling point, and it'll be the only Lion King attraction in Disney again. The bit like they had with Ratatouille before that then got pushed into other parks, so I think it's possibly time for Paris to...
Would you choose to put a water attraction?
Oh, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Paris.
Not an outdoor water attraction,
It'd be
Claire.
like
Either
no. Like a frozen.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
Ski jump in the winter.
It'll get a frozen reef theme in the winter.
I'm actually not sure they've thought that all the way through. What happens when it is icy? Are they going to heat the water? Are they going to heat the water though? Because the water coming down.
But
Yeah.
get
The
all,
ride's going to go out of commission.
It'll be all chunky
be all
and stuff.
be steamy and all that.
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
it? Just it'd be like a sea of
It's like the rapids at Centre Park.
Which is exactly what happens in Africa in the savannah, you know. But
yeah.
but I like the thinking. I like the idea. I think the actual theming would work great as a ride. Probably not in Disneyland Paris, but it's a nice step forward to see.
Yeah.
Delivery will be everything.
It will,
How
absolutely.
It will.
they overcome that challenge.
But if it's not any good, they can use all the research that they've had on it and actually transport it across.
Yeah.
To transport across and put
Yeah.
the Lion King into Magic Kingdom instead of
What,
another ride.
next
Which
to Thunder Mountain
And who knows?
Yeah.
And
Hey
who
ho.
knows, the old Splash Mountain might still be socially acceptable in Paris, so they might just drag and drop that back over as well.
and it probably would be socially acceptable. That's a scary thing as well. I'm just going to pick up on the chat as well, because actually a massive thank you, because I like this, because Wendy, I totally agree with you. And you know, we were talking about Harambe Market, it might be temporary because they're closing other places as well. I think Karen had mentioned this as well, the fact that with Restaurantosaurus shutting and beige food in particular disappearing there, I actually think that's a really good call, and I think it's basically trying to cover off an awful lot of what's being lost in the short term within Animal Kingdom, and just
I
coming
also
in there.
wonder whether the foot traffic around that area, because they're going to be changing the use of the Rafiki's Planet Watch to incorporate Bluey, there's not going to be that much opportunity
I
to do
had
stuff up
breaking
there.
Bluey news today as well.
Bluey news.
Bluey news.
Well,
The first Bluey pin trading collection. has
Oh,
been
really?
released, or is being released, yes.
Amazing.
There is
Apparently
now
there's Bluey
a Bluey
plush.
pin.
There's
Yeah.
a Bluey plush available in Disney Springs, but not yet in Disney Animal Kingdom. But there will
Here we
be.
go. The
And-
Bluey revolution begins.
But I
Little
wonder
do
whether
you
there's
know, when
something
I
about-
was younger than you, the Bluey Revolution was definitely a thing when I was at school.
Yeah.
I must admit, but that's another thing. We can't talk about that. But hey, ho.
But I wonder whether that particular area Harambe Marketplace is, because people won't necessarily be getting on the train to go up to Rafiki's Planet Watch for the next couple of months while they're sorting out what's going on up there. Whether
Yeah.
having a slightly more all-encompassing beige menu might work better.
yeah,
Probably, yeah. Just to touch on what Karen said as well, have they kept the Cars Road trip in Paris after all of that? The temporary,
Yeah.
the temporary road
Catastrophe
trip
Canyon's still
that was
there.
put in there a long time ago.
Yep.
But that's a lot of space. So actually,
is.
that is somewhere, and that might be the bit of space that we've seen Morg as well. That actually, that could be
Yeah.
part of a future expansion, because that is pretty woeful.
There's a huge amount of space behind
politely.
that particular
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
There's tons of fields.
Yeah.
So, you know, the expansion opportunities are fairly unlimited.
Yeah, there's tons of potential. I'm just seeing if I can have a look at the map now so I can talk. They've got a whole area behind that Disney Villain stage show as well, behind the Catastrophe Canyon, as you said. Even coming right round to the left of the lake, they've got a whole bit just before you get to Arendelle.
But
Yeah.
Like,
that was the bit they were going to put Star Wars in.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Yes.
do
So I
say-
wonder if that will still come. That.
I think that might have gone the way of Mary Poppins, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the shelf for a later
Don't bring that up just yet.
We won't
Yeah.
talk about that.
so just as we bring the
It's
news
9
to
o'clock,
it,
John.
I know we've gone long on news again. Yeah. Right, let's crack on. Let's explore cast members. And actually, I'm going to start somewhere, because when we mentioned about doing this, I think the first notion that anyone's ever going to do, if you want to be a cast member, everyone's first option is the fact that nobody wants to be custodial. And certainly when you do the college program, it is the one that when people are given the job and it's like, oh my word, I can't do it. I'm going to start and actually say this is actually the most important job out of all of them. And actually, without custodial, you wouldn't have hotels, resorts, and theme parks that look the way that they do. They're the people that come and just kind of magically make things that have happened disappear. And I
That's
actually,
the difference between a Disney park and any other theme park.
Yeah.
For me, is
And
that
I felt this is something we had to say before we go and talk about anything else, because they get so maligned as the fact that, oh my word, I couldn't possibly do that. But actually, I actually can't think of a role within cast member sort of roles that is actually the most important, and I really do feel like I had to say that before we go and explore further. Go on, Claire.
I mean, jumping.
I was just going to
Sorry.
jump to the chat and answer Izzy's question very
Yeah,
quickly.
I mean, I was also going to the same place.
Yeah. So Izzy said, "Can we give cast members gifts?" More than
Yes,
just.
you can.
Yes, you can.
So as
yeah.
long as the value isn't over, I think it's over $50 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot.
Because as long as it's a
quite
gift
lot.
and it's not a gift of cash, you're not allowed to take cash.
Yeah.
But if it's a gift, like a physical gift, like chocolates and stuff, absolutely.
Yeah, so I remember when I worked in retail, I used to get little like key rings, or I had a really nice bracelet that a couple had made at the end of my program, and I was in club call, and they came in and they said, "Look, we see you've been here the last 3 months, you've been in and out, you've been making the magic. Really appreciate you. Here's a lovely wristband. That you are the says you are the magic in it." And those sort of things do make our days as cast members. Like it's really.
You kept everything, haven't you? You've got a box.
Yeah, it's in a bag. It's in a box or a bag in my room somewhere.
I remember on the hurricane day, and someone came with a little fridge magnet that they'd made, like personalised, made at home.
Yeah.
It's like it's the little things, but you know what? We're sitting here, 18 months down the line, and that's what we remember. So yeah,
Weird to say that.
It does make a cast members.
I'll say that Izzy last year, I took out with
Yeah.
Millie, my daughter, Robin's sister. We took out 50 little. We bought little organza bags and made them up, and in there we put. We made little bracelets with beads that said things like "Magic Maker" and "Thank you" and all of those things. A bit like the one that Morgan received. We put some love hearts, some. I'm trying to think. We put
That was the sweetie
salad
love
and
hat.
blackjacks, and
Yeah.
then like a little note that I got ChatGPT to write me some little poems saying thank you, and saying to cast members, you're the reason that we come, and you make magic. And so we gave out 50 of those last summer, and actually we gave quite a few to the UK cast members, and there's all of the cast members that we gave them to were so grateful. It was just like a little give back, thank you so much for being here. Everyone's paid minimum wage, and the enthusiasm that everyone does their job with is, it makes such a difference between having a great day and having an okay day. So we definitely took gifts out, and they are really welcomed. I know that the UK cast really love it when you take out chocolate, or even like Percy Pigs or anything like that. Other sweet treats are available.
I was actually there, Claire, when you did a couple of cast members, and actually one of them was getting quite emotional because actually they were evidently quite homesick, and the fact that someone from the UK had actually come and actually thought about them and actually had gone to that level of actually just having just a little thank you, I felt was even as I was watching it, I was like, oh my word, this is actually, it's such an easy thing to do, but it means so much to them. So if anyone's watching and fancies doing this, let's shower them with a little bit of love and a little bit of respect for everything that they do, because I think certainly from experience, I think a lot of them have to encounter a lot of guests. I'm trying to think of the best way of saying this.
The most magical.
And actually that sense of entitlement. I've paid that much for a Disney holiday, that everything should be absolutely perfect, and why can't I have that right now and in X, Y, and Z shape and this? And it's just like, get a grip.
Recognising everyone works hard.
But
So the term they trade there is customer.
But before we get into specific roles and things like that, I think is what Claire said about everyone that works there is on minimum wage, and you have to have an element of class about you as a worker in order to give the magic, because you would earn the same amount working at your local Publix, your local Walmart, your local McDonald's, anywhere. You'd earn the same, if not maybe slightly more, in probably better working conditions, probably easier working days. But actually, you don't then face customers or guests who have paid $200 per person just to be in the park for the day, or to be in that restaurant for the day. There's a lot more expected of you to work there, and there has to be a reason why you want to work there in order to do it. I think that's
Yeah.
I'm just going to go at the chat very quickly. Karen, I think that's a brilliant point about the fact that if, again,
That's
going
so
back to
true.
custodial, if they didn't do their job, it'd be something that everyone would notice in an absolute instant. And it'd be the one thing that a lot of us would actually come back and actually say, oh, it wasn't like it used to be. And I think that's the whole thing. And then also the next person in the chat, thank you for joining us, Lisa.
Lisa, have you moved house yet?
It's lovely. Thanks for joining us, Lisa. Appreciate it.
Wendy said cast members are often the main reason why she enjoys her trips. Wendy, I could
Yeah.
not agree more.
Yeah.
Actually, that opportunity to chat to people, and I made a point when we were giving out our gift bags, not to give them to characters all the time or even character attendants. They were going to custodials, they were going to housekeeping, they were going to the person at guest relations who was having a hard day. And actually I gave one to a girl who was working at the carousel in Magic Kingdom, and this is the moment that really stuck out to me. She clearly having a bit of a tough day, so we were waiting for the carousel to start, and I gave her this gift bag. I said, look, you look like you could do with some guest love, so this is for you. And she actually had to put her sunglasses on and walk away because she was in tears. And she came back and she was like, thank you so much, you don't know what that means to me. And it really, it's a bit of give and take. Actually we should be grateful for the experience that adds to our trip. It isn't a given for me, certainly. I don't expect it, and if the cast members are doing a great job, we should say thank you. It's all about being a good guest.
Oh, let's see, look at this. Beyond
Robin and Simon are there. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And we did
You
give
sent
you
your love earlier. I'm sure you're
we
watching.
certainly did.
So,
Go on, Claire, take us away.
right, let's rank some rank some cast member roles.
Let's
My
rank.
hand
Let's. Why don't we just rank the guests? Right.
Yeah.
So
we definitely could.
that would be
That's next week's show. Though.
that would be the after hours version of this, wouldn't it?
So, Morg and Josh are with us because we said we were going to talk about ranking cast member roles, and which are good and which you're not so sure about when if you were going to prioritise where you wanted to work or the role you were in, what would that look like? Go. What do you think? What would be your top role? And I'm not talking character, so we're cancelling out characters and like parade performers and things like that. We're talking like general cast, not performance cast.
I think Morgan and Creations.
I'm going to say I'm biased. I know exactly where I'd go back to if I had a chance to do another programme, if I ever wanted to. I know exactly where I'd make a beeline for. Hey, there we are. There's me.
Hey, there he is.
That was my final shift. Have a little radio there. Felt very, very official, actually.
Nice
That was
uniform, comfortable.
Yeah. I have to say,
Shorts.
felt like pyjamas.
Yeah,
It felt
you did
really
get a good
comfortable.
uniform.
Kind of look like pajamas a little bit, but
They were
Air
so
conditioning.
super comfortable. Air conditioning. Everyone was lovely and pleasant. Couple of guests. Yeah, a couple of guests weren't that nice every now and then, but actually I don't think I had the worst of it, so I can't really complain.
You got involved in a proposal?
I did, yes.
Not
Not me. Not me personally. No.
Against
yet.
the proposal.
Not to
That
my
would have been
knowledge.
good.
Morg just went
That's how
above
I
and
announce
beyond.
Oh, I'd get
But
killed if I announced it on here.
You had a nice role actually, and you had an amazing team, and you told me how nice the leaders were and the coordinators, and
I'm still friends with like one of my best friends, Chris, who started his program weeks after me. He's now working for corporate at Disney. He's moved up the rank to corporate now, and he does a lot of stuff around. I can't even tell you what he does because it's so cool. But he's up there now. But lots of friends who have now progressed to coordinator have started to work in those different roles. One of my friends, the owner, has moved to Magic Kingdom from Creations, and she was the one who trained me, and I'm still friends with her. So actually, it's such a lovely, supportive environment, and I have nothing but positive praise to sing about it. And I still talk to the other DCP cast members that were with me at the time.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere I always go back to, unlike Josh for Tybus.
So if you were to rank that, role out of 5,
Robin, no.
it?
Absolutely
No.
not Robin. No.
If you were to rank that role in creations out of 5 for a college program, what would you give it?
5.
Yeah.
Without hesitation.
I actually think you were well looked after by a really good management team as well, Morgan. I think that more than anything else, even when you going into Epcot last year, and knowing that you weren't there, everybody knows their role, and it didn't really seem to matter wherever in the park you were.
Yeah.
Everybody knew, and it had a little level head on it.
It's really
And that
calm
management team,
environment.
yeah, and they work quite close with all of World Discovery, so including Traders of Xandar, including the Mission Space launch bay. It's all that same team that do all of that, and they liaise across those. So it works quite widely. And EJ, who I believe is still in that area, he's absolute legend, and is on top of it all, as are the other people that are there. So
Getting to go to work every day and seeing Spaceship Earth as you walk in, pretty cool. And
Or at night as I walk
World
out.
Celebration background loop.
I have that in my head as a constant
like
loop
constant.
now.
Yeah.
I felt maybe for next time I need to get a photo of creations as my background rather than Tatooine. I don't know why I've got Tatooine. But
So Josh, talk us through your role and where you would rank that out of 5.
I had a very different role to Morg. Not only was it in food and beverage over merchandise, but mine was outdoors, or not in the nice air conditioning.
No aircon.
Indoors. Well, that's a nice mug shot, that. Thank you,
Rosy.
Morgan.
There you go.
you're welcome.
Yeah. Costume, I mean, that gets a 5 out of 5. Costume was brilliant. Loved my costume. I actually think, and this is where it's quite interesting, because the role I had on food and beverage, so where you had the carts with the ice creams and stuff, that was typically the ODV role before I was out there, and then the summer I was out there it had changed to incorporate Tybus.
That's the Thai bus.
That's the
If
Thai
anyone
bus.
doesn't know the Thai bus, it's next to
Yeah.
Expedition
It's the thing of
the
dreams.
Don't ever buy ice cream from there, because the ice cream is
Yeti Sunday.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually really rate the ice cream from there,
It
though,
is
quite
nice from
ironically. It's
I was,
really nice.
I was discussing this with Mog the other week, actually. I've touched on it so many times, Tybus, but not actually gone into detail. I feel like at this point it's like the fishing trip from Gavin and Stacey, where I'm not quite going to tell you everything. It's going to keep drip feeding. But they hadn't, prior to me going out, it was the first summer that ODV had been roped into doing Tybus, Trek Snacks, which is by Everest, the hot dogs on the way across to Pandora, things like that. It was the first time that all that stuff had kind of been incorporated. So the leadership that I experienced was not the leadership that Morg experienced. It wasn't anywhere near as supportive and can't quite find the word, but it wasn't quite as supportive as what Morg received. And so for us, they'd still got the same amount of cast members that would have helped out doing the normal ODV role, but then we were stretched out amongst now Tybus, Trek Snacks and the hot dog stand. So I get from that perspective it was probably a bit of a new summer for them, but we were quite understaffed. We were quite stretched within what we were expected to do, but then the actual role itself in ODV was quite pleasant on the carts. I always enjoyed doing that, and my ranking of it would probably be a 3 out of 5, mainly because that bit of the job was nice, the bit of the Tybus wasn't, but my highlight of the whole time really was the fact I got to work from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. That was my average day, and actually it gave me from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. to go into the park. So I would say I think with every job there's going to be, pros and cons, but for me I always knew that I was probably not going to get the enjoyment out of my job, but because it finished at 6 o'clock, I got my enjoyment of the program after the job. So,
And
yeah,
sort of reflecting on that, my shifts were often 5
Late.
till 12, 5 till midnight, or
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
case that we had after parties,
Yeah.
I was there till 1, 2 a.m. in the morning some nights, and
Yeah.
then I'll be back up doing a opening, when I'll be back in 8 a.m. And it was,
Whereas-
it gets
yeah.
long.
Whereas on my side, the earliest start I had was 9. The latest would be about 11. I'd always be finished by 6, 7 o'clock, unless there'd been a storm. But that wasn't very often.
I'm more impressed. This is going to be. It's like 18 months worth of therapy.
I know,
Yeah.
this is impressive.
You know, if you go back to when you finish a program, you probably would have said that was a 1 out of 5.
You mentioned Thai
At
bus,
the
and
very
Josh just
most.
gets like war flashbacks.
I know, it's
Yeah,
sweaty
he
and-
starts twitching and
No,
stuff.
Thai bus is not a moment of my life that I would ever like to go back to. But there are.
Okay.
But something I'll always hold with me now though. My favourite place to be was in Dinorama, and I got to position right by where you used to meet Donald, and just by the Triceratops spin and things like that.
Yeah, that's a cool
Which
place.
I was the last summer program that ever got to experience that, and actually, it was brilliant. You had a really good soundtrack loop. It was actually quite a nice lot of guests that usually
A lot of shade
came
there.
there because it
Yeah.
was a lot of shade. There's a lot of children that would be around, so it was always quite pleasant. And Donald Duck would come out and come and say hello and
I
things
was
like
gonna-
that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was always
Gonna
it was
jump
always
on
good.
that, Mum. I've just seen that.
Yeah.
So for the Disney College program, it's turning into a bit of Disney College program talk now a little bit. But that's fine. For the college program, they do provide you with accommodation if you are international.
Provide
it's a
more,
bit
more
like-
provide.
But you have to-
Provide
you
is
have
a
to-
very,
you have to
a
pay
It's
very
for it.
like
strong
the
term.
loosest
Yes.
term.
You have to pay for
Provide-
it.
It's like- it's like
They provide and
student
ask you to
accommodation.
pay $225 a week. That's their
Yeah.
version of provide.
There
Yes,
is,
but
there is accommodation available.
there is accommodation available. Yes.
Yeah. They take $225 a week for the pleasure of living at their.
But it is lovely. There's a pool. There's like a gym.
Yeah.
Everything. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
There's,
transportation
like-
is superb.
And you guys got to share an apartment, which was
We
really
did.
cool.
We did.
It was
Which
very
you-
cool,
you
and
know.
that was a highlight
had
of the
some-
program. Genuinely,
And we
that
had some
was-
great friends who we shared with. One of whose
Yeah.
friends were Goofy, or was friends with Goofy, and one of them, Riley, who worked in Haunted Mansion.
And
So
still,
real-
still
still
was.
does.
Still does.
Still was. You might not know this, Morg, but actually, when
was,
Alison and I were there in August last year, and we were walking on Haunted Mansion. We hadn't even got through the doors. I've just finished writing this in my trip report, which hasn't been published yet. But we were just about to go through the doors. Riley spotted us. And it was like pointing the finger. It is you. It is, and it was just like, and we watched the doors open and close about 3 or 4 times, as he just caught up with and actually tried to ask about you guys, and it was just such a lovely, heartfelt sort of. Even though you hadn't seen him for a year, you
Yeah.
still wanted to know what you guys had been up to and what you were doing, and I just thought that is, for me, that is the whole purpose of this. He was still doing his Disney dream of working there, but you'd obviously touched his life to the extent that it actually it still interested him. He wanted to know what you were doing. He wanted to know what Josh's European travels were encountering, and he also asked about my football team as well. So,
Josh's European travels bottomless brunches by the sound of it.
yeah, it
That's a
sounds
whole
like
other-
it. Yeah,
that's a whole
definitely.
And they weren't
Show.
$79. That was for sure.
Yeah, that's a whole
But no, just to finish the last question, then I'll move on to Wendy's
Yeah.
question. There was bus links that went from Flamingo Crossings, where our transport was. I think there was about 8 or 9 different locations that they went to.
It's something like E to F.
but-
in
Yeah,
terms of
but
buses that
they all
were-
stopped at all the resorts, all the parks.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
when you see the buses around the resorts and around the Walt Disney World that say they're called Academy buses.
Academy
They say
buses,
Academy.
Yeah.
They're the cast member buses.
yeah.
And they go backstage and they go to Class Connections and they
Yeah.
go to all these amazing, wonderful places.
Yeah.
That's a great question,
And
Wendy. I've
Lisa
got to
Martin
say.
said her stepdaughter's just applied for the college programme. So
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
wow.
exciting.
Oh, cool.
Well, any questions, as always,
Merch.
send me a Morgan message.
So merch, yeah, aircon.
Oh, wow.
And Wendy said, were there set spots you had to put your carts, or could you choose where to put them, Josh?
There were set locations. We had to. I think there was about 28 in total, split
That's
across ODV carts as well as all the different locations. Like there was slushy stands, there was popcorn stands, you name it. So I think there's about 28, 29 locations across the whole park.
And you did,
but they were the same
till you got
every
to
day.
your shift.
No, you literally got in on a morning, you clock in on your machine, and it would print out a ticket, and on that ticket it would then reveal your fate, basically. And so you'd know where you were for the first 2 hours, and then you'd come back.
Yeah.
Well, I say 2 hours, I mean sometimes it went to 4 hours before you got your break, but whenever you then came back, you then re-clocked in after your break or whatever, and then it would print off another one. And then quite often, if you're on a close, you'd then get another location before the end of your shift, which
What was
was
really
tightless, yeah.
What was
Say
really
goodbye to Mickey.
interesting, but what was really interesting from a parental side of it was your mum's got that, she can track you on your phone,
Yeah.
right? So we'd be getting texts, and it'd be like, oh no, he's at Thai bus. And it's just like,
I'm not sure it was quite as friendly as oh no,
no,
but you can fill in the blanks.
But it was a bit where you knew,
The red alerts were where you were.
and it was kind of around about lunchtime in the UK, a little bit after, and you were just like, right, let's see what kind of day he's going to have today, and it's just like checking it, and you're like, oh no, we know
It's a
he's
Thai
going to
bus
get,
day.
he's got. The worst one was when you were in full sun and you just don't have any shelter from the sun,
Yeah.
and I think that's a bit to really be mindful of. And I know we're going to talk about other cast member roles as well, but when you're actually out there, and I think we've all been in that position, waiting for a parade or certainly waiting in the middle of the hub at 2 p.m. in Magic Kingdom, and you feel like the bottom of your shoes are melting, you feel yourself melting, but you can then go into the aircon, you can actually go and find a little bit of respite from it. If you're actually working in it, and you've got nowhere else to go, and you actually have that bit where, and there was those days where you actually came back and you were dehydrated.
But there's some stands
massively.
there's some locations that you just knew that your afternoon or morning. The morning ones were the worst ones. If you get put on a stand, I mean, I say I love Dinorama on a morning, you get the full sun on a morning, and it would. Yes, it's a really nice way to start your day, but then it did lead to a very long afternoon, because no matter how much water you drank, no matter how many electrolyte drinks you took on board, you certainly from the UK as well, and you're not used to that climate, it did take the life out of you a little bit. But
So Josh, you probably lived on Gatorade then.
oh yeah,
That's pretty much all I can remember you
Powerade,
drinking was
Gatorade,
fluids.
yeah. Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
on that, really quickly, just because Lisa's mentioned that her stepdaughter's applying for the college program, really take care about footwear and what footwear you get, because get shoes that are appropriate but that are supportive for your feet. John, you saying that your shoes might melt. Actually, reminded me, my shoes did melt at one point. There was a pair of shoes that I wore that were Primark owned, and they did melt in the sun. And it left me without some shoes for the rest of the day, and I'd no way around it.
And the flip side is if you work in food and beverage, you get footwear provided by the Disney company. But the footwear provided by the Disney company are very heavy,
Pre-worn, still sweaty.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know if
probably.
they are, but
Don't know.
they're
I think they are
quite
new, but
hefty.
they were hefty, which I get. They have to be, but it doesn't particularly help you when you're standing outside all day. But yeah.
Okay, right, let's move on to other cast member roles that you did not undertake, and let's talk about what you think and what our friends in the chat would rank these particular. So I'm going to go, we saw this picture earlier. What about parking? So we all love someone who's a parking attendant, especially when they send you long down the far end of the
all the
road.
way to the end of the
Like,
line.
you see them and they're like that, and you're like,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, he doesn't see my finger signals from
I
inside
always
the
say
car.
thank you with
The
one
return
hand, the
finger
other hand,
gesture.
I'm not going to tell you what it's doing.
Now you see, I have a whole load of sympathy for these guys because
They're out in
yeah.
the sun.
See, me and Morg-
or the rain, or whatever
Yeah.
the.
Well, me and
what's
Morg
going on.
our friends in our flat had a friend who worked as a
Melanie,
parking
I
attendant.
think it was.
Melanie, her name was. That's right.
Yeah.
And the stories she come home with, a bit similar to what I experienced in places where I worked, of the abuse that you can get off guests, which, you know, it can happen. But then you are working out in the heat all day.
Yeah.
And so at least when I was working in the sunshine, they would then move you to a spot 4 hours later that might be a little bit more shaded. Their version of shade for these guys is they work on the trams as well as the people who announce, you know, just to stand on the back and tell you to keep your hands and arms, legs inside. But that's then a lot of talking. You're then still in the sunshine, moving on the back of this thing, then checking all the doors, and it's a lot of walking.
It's a tough
You're right next to all the hot engines and stuff as well.
I think
Like, it's not...
I actually think they have they probably have the second to most toughest job of the lot, behind just ahead of custodial.
Definitely.
I think that
Yeah.
custodial got the toughest, but I think they have almost the toughest. I really do.
It's such a almost thankless task because
because nobody's ever going to be apart from four spaces just on the end of the row who a guest might be like, oh, that's brilliant. The other 50 along the line there, nobody's going to be saying thank you for that.
They're all going to be really unhappy with you.
It's really tough, isn't it? And then at the other end of the day, you've got people who've lost their car and all of that. You know, I don't know.
I think
I always try and say thank you to the parking people, but.
And the other side as well, Claire, is the fact that these guys aren't inside the park.
No, right, you're outside.
So you're not getting that little bit of magic yourself.
Given a parking space.
Yeah, and you're basically at arm's length from all that magic that's going on, but you've got probably 10 times the amount of health and safety to contend with, because you've got so many moving vehicles, and you could be then liable for goodness knows what.
How many cars out of 10 don't follow the instructions that you give them? Probably
9.
several. Yeah. And I just think that, you know, it's not... I think every role has its pros and cons. You know, when you talk about people who've worked in parking previously, like Dan Cockrell, who used to be president of Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
He started his career as a college program in parking. So, you know, there are opportunities for everyone if you excel in the role. So, but parking attendants, I feel for them. I think it's a tough gig. There was a time where the coordinators used to go round on segways pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I don't see that anymore. They tend to be in the car with the aircon on, I think.
You spot on, Claire.
Right, I'm going to move on. Next one.
Yeah.
So these are character attendants.
Yeah.
What do we think about that role? You know, these are not people who are friends with the characters. These are the attendants who are controlling the crowds and the guests who are...
These are the ones that turn you around and say, I'm really sorry. Goofy's on a break.
He's going to go and have a 10-minute catch-up with Max or whatever. He'll be back.
And actually, again, they're actually probably people, unless they're on the indoor character meet and greets, you can actually find yourself sort of
in
quite...
the firing line.
Yeah.
And you're on your own as well, because the character can't stick up for you. So
I think this is a great role, though, because actually you can have some fun with a character. I've certainly been at character meet and greets where the attendant has been playing into the fun of it and has been like, the give and take between the character, even though fair characters can't speak. You know, the chat and the banter that happens through.
Is that maybe the 10 minutes before they're actually either due to finish a shift or 10 minutes before they go on a break?
They're translating to the guests what the character is explaining, or they're saying, "Oh, Mickey wants you to go and sit in the chair," or whatever it is. So they're actually part of the meet and greet, although they're on the outskirts. I think the character attendant who was with Pooh Bear at the back of the UK pavilion was amazing, because they're like, "Oh, Pooh Bear, show them your honey pot," and all of this.
Yeah.
You know, it was so much fun. And I just think that that's quite a cool job to have. You're not a character, friends with a character, but you are part of that experience, and you get to see the guests having fun with the characters and that overwhelming joy for the kids and all of that stuff. I think that must be quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, we had a few friends that did character attendant stuff when we were out there. Neve, one of the people I met at the very start of my program, before Josh came out, sort of jump scared me in the park and went, are you Morgan from the group chat? And I went, yeah, hi, who are you? She became a good friend over the course of the program, and she moved into being a character attendant from Attractions, I think it was. And she said it was really lovely to see the interaction, especially between young children and princesses or the different fursuit characters. It's really lovely to see that. It can also be really challenging when you've got guests who are maybe older, who you do see, and absolutely that's it, Izzy. That's absolutely it. You do see children who are really happy, and that the magic is still there for them, and they believe that it's the character. But then moving on to Karen's point, just before Izzy's there, talking about how some guest behaviour could be really difficult, especially when it's an older guest who wants to sit with Ariel, but maybe shouldn't for safety reasons, or you hear horror stories, and actually there are horror stories about people who followed Peter Pan home at one time, so they had to really beef security up for Peter Pan because there's proper thing going on with that. So it can be really difficult, but I think it's one of those jobs that is like trams, like custodial. That's the word I was looking for. Are real unsung heroes of the jobs.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they're like the catalyst, the facilitator of the experience. So actually, the way in which a character experience and meet and greet will go often is completely reliant on the character attendant, and they're also watching the character to make sure they're safe. They're not letting them know there's a problem and all of that. So they're there for the character to make sure they're okay, but also to make sure that guest experience is exemplary. So I think that would be quite a great job.
Yeah.
I think you probably live on your nerves a little bit, because I think you have to anticipate a problem before it actually occurs.
It's like being a driving instructor job.
Isn't it just? They got a perfect job for me. But but it's actually just it's that anticipation of where something might go wrong and spoil the magic for other people.
Totally.
And I think that's where it becomes. That would be where that be.
Probably one of the most delicate roles as well.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful. And,
Okay, less delicate. What about Skipper?
Oh wow!
Jungle Cruise Skipper, but Jungle Cruise Skipper.
Yeah.
For me, I just think that must be so much fun. Yes, you've got to learn the spiel, and we've all had skippers that are amazing, and skippers that you think, this isn't for you. But I love the Jungle Cruise skippers and the fact that they just have free reign to do their thing. And, as a breeding ground for stand-up comedians, it's perfect. I'm a bit biased about Jungle Cruise, but what do you think?
I don't think you could ever be biased, Claire, because actually I think it's one of the greatest jobs and the greatest roles to have. It's the one that you always remember. Last year, and I'm rubbish with names, but I still remember Skipper Sarah. Yeah. And it's just like, it's that whole thing. It was just like they absolutely nailed that first, and it was the first ride after the fireworks, and we'd edged out of the hub, and basically just done that quick walk to get on the
Disney walk.
Yeah, and we got on, and she knew exactly what we'd done. It's just like, and it was brilliant. And she because she probably had about 20 minutes of not actually running the Jungle Cruise. It was a little bit of a refresh for her. She was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think the year before we'd met someone on the boat dock who had actually only found out that she'd had a year anniversary of working at Disney. And then I spotted on Twitter. And so,
I remember that.
In true style, I went and introduced myself. I said, and I know you were on Twitter. And she's like, how'd you know? I said, there you go. So we got a selfie with her as well. They are just the most amazing people, and they are so funny, and they are basically the ones that if you were ever given a job, that's the one you want.
Yeah.
Possibly with one exception, but we'll come to that.
Okay. I think it sounds super cool, and because I love the Jungle Cruise so much, I would love to do it. And like the steering of the boat is really difficult.
Just yeah.
Okay.
I actually wonder though, and this gets me, is how can you, if you get this, and this is the same with any job, if you're saying the same thing so many times in a day, how many times can you actually be excited by and just put that little bit of sarcastic intonation into the backside of water?
I think I have given more cast compliments to Jungle Cruise skippers than any other cast role, to be honest with you. If I think back, I think, bar maybe 3 or 4 experiences, and I've been on Jungle Cruise a lot, I would say that I routinely give cast compliments to Jungle Cruise skippers just because they make me laugh so much. Now, that might be my sense of humour.
So hang on, Claire. Can I just ask, right? And this, and again, I'm saying this because actually some people won't know that this is out there. What is a cast compliment?
So this is cool. So this is where you can actually send a message to a cast member you can use it the MDE app, so the My Disney Experience app, the same one that you book your restaurants on, and you can see your hotel booking and all of that stuff. If you go to the main screen and scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a thing that says cast compliments, and on there you can click where you were, which park, which attraction area, and the name of the name of the cast member and their hometown. If you manage to register it, it's always on their badge. If you don't know the name, and it would ask for the date that you experienced something, and you can send a cast compliment. Now, Josh and Morg both know about this because actually, as a cast member, you get that information back to you. That
you do.
A guest has said thank you. They've said that you made my experience magical. You've gone out of your way to help us, or particularly recognise my birthday or whatever. There's lots of different options where you can say thank you to the cast members. And Morg, you had some experiences where they printed stuff out for you, and you've got certificates and stuff.
Yeah, so in the cast member app, the Disney cast member app that we get our rotas on and stuff, there is a section in that where it all comes to you. I wish I'd thought about this beforehand, because I would have sent one of mine over to you, Mum, so you could have put it up.
Sorry.
But it tells you that this guest has offered you a cast compliment because of this reason, and it'll say whether they put it through the app or they've gone and done it through a third party, through guest relations. And it's happened to me once where we've had, I think it was Gary. He came up, and that's where that photo of me holding Mickey came from. Was when they came and found me in Creations one day.
But it's lovely though. I actually think this is such an important thing to recognise, because actually when you go into the My Disney Experience app, you have to scroll right to the bottom. It does take a little bit of digging into, but please do it. And I would actually, one of the other things I would say is the fact that if you're getting good experience with someone, ask them, can you have a selfie? Yeah. Because if you get the name badge in on a selfie, it actually is then something you can actually sort of blow the photo up so you can actually see. Because again, saying I'm not good with names, I could meet someone who's the most amazing person, and 10 minutes later I won't remember the name. Again, you know what we said before, Claire, before we started the show, Claire, just as a matter of interest, right? So I'm just going to. We've had our second Canadian join us tonight. Thank you ever so much.
Hey, Robert.
Thank you, Robert, for being part of the show. Appreciate you joining us.
All the Canadians in tonight. This is so
certainly
cool.
is. Yeah, it certainly is. Look who else is joining us from Panda Express. There you go.
Bothered,
whatever. Yeah. Just
whatever.
Yeah. It's all right, Ben. We're still going. It's got to be an hour, at least an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And you don't have to edit it. There you go.
So let's move on to the next cast member. Go on.
I was going to say, just jumping in quickly. As a cast member, when we get those compliments from guests, when we get we can even give them to each other as cast members. When we get those from guests or from other cast members, that goes on our record as cast members. So we get a report card And as a cast member, that will go on there, and leaders will note that with us. Leaders will say to us, "Oh, it's really nice to see that you've achieved this many cast compliments," and that follows you through your entire Disney journey. So if Josh or I ever went and worked back at Disney, wherever that is in the world, whether it's a Disney-affiliated company like Marvel, like Lucasfilm, even working at the Disney store in London, if we were to work on those companies, these cast compliments, all these details would follow us through that. So actually, as a guest, giving us those cast compliments, giving us those...
Powerful.
It sounds pretty like promoting, like, please do it. But actually, please do it, because you're making these cast members' lives easier.
Yeah.
And you can actually give compliments to characters, cast members that are not wearing name badges. So we've done that before, where we've been in Animal Kingdom, we've been to Festival of Lion King, and whoever was friends with Timon in that particular performance was incredible. So we went and found the guest assistants under the blue umbrellas, and we said we want to give a cast compliment to Timon from the 10 o'clock showing of Festival of Lion King, and they went, great, we'll take that down, because they haven't got a name badge on. It would say Timon. That doesn't help us. So so you can do it for anyone. Right, I'm going to move on because I've got some quick fire ones. Right, what about photo pass? Is that a good cast member role?
If you're good at taking photos.
Well, so you get so I think the important thing is that you get trained to take the photos. You get given the equipment, and they teach you how to take a photo. But we've all seen photos that have been taken by photo pass photographers, and then some that have been taken by amazing photo pass photographers. We're talking like Willie in Hollywood Studios. We're talking like people who just have an eye for the surround.
Just doing it differently, Claire. And I think that's
lying on the floor, whatever it is, and
So something important to note as well, and in that recruitment process for photo pass cast members, they don't take you unless you've got experience. So it's like entertainment; they don't take you unless you've got like acting experience for character performance. And they don't take you unless you've got previous like qualification.
Next time I have a really rubbish photograph taken, which I could have taken better myself, I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah, so I've got a D at A-level photography.
It's a bit similar to if you go and apply to the Epcot year-long program. You have to have at least 18 months experience within food and beverage.
Or food and drink. It's a lot. Okay. So cast members who take photos can make or break your picture.
Oh, too right.
Most definitely. And let's not even get started on the boxes that take the pictures.
No.
Again, I think that's another tough job though, because you're reliant upon the elements, aren't you? If the lighting in the background is no good, then you're...
performers in that environment have to be so aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
As soon as it goes 101, you...
Right. Turnstile greeter.
Oh.
The first person you see on a morning.
Yeah. So this is the person you are going to come across as you are entering your park of choice.
They always got an easy ride, really, I think.
I mean, you're not hanging around.
I'd agree.
No.
Although,
and yet,
you're going to raise your hand.
But you've not seen anything. You've not seen anything before you've even stepped in the park that will have annoyed you to have a go at them. So actually, people are excited, they're energised, they're ready for their day.
Who walk into the park.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I might have been earlier today. I saw this brilliant. Again, it probably shows how my Twitter feed sort of lines stuff up, and it was basically someone at the tap style at Walt Disney World with tickets for Disneyland.
Oh no!
and basically it was obviously a stage thing and things like that. But actually, it's one of them things you watch. You think, I bet
the middle. The middle is brilliant.
I bet you someone's done that.
Yeah.
I bet they've got the wrong ticket for the wrong park, and they were thought they were going. It was SeaWorld and all that, and then we can do Walt Disney World because we paid X amount of thousands of pounds, and you turn up and you're like, computer says no.
But it's still not them people on the gates that get it in the neck, because they go,
no,
in that case you go to guest relations.
They put their hand up and
raise your hand and someone
Exactly. They've got the easiest ride of the lot of them.
I've got two more to add. So let's look at tour guides.
Oh,
Being a VIP
Easy.
tour guide or guest relations
Yeah.
in City Hall, that's not easy.
Well, guest relations is not no.
no.
Oh,
No.
it's like you get. I think most of the roles that are in guest relations and tour guides, they're shared, so they do both. So
Yeah.
some days you're doing a tour, you might be doing Keys to the Kingdom one day and then standing behind a desk in City Hall
Yeah.
the next day. Tough gig for one, not so
Yeah.
tough for the other. What do you
One of my
reckon?
favorite pastimes when we were doing the program, and I used to go to Hollywood Studios or Epcot in an evening because they were not blocked out and they're open till 9 o'clock. But if it had rained, now if my Phantasmic evening had been cancelled, no problem, because I'd just go and watch Phantasmic the next day for the next 6 weeks. Not a problem for me. But I used to thoroughly enjoy on my way out of the park, and I would find somewhere to stand and wait for my bus before I had to leg it to the bus stop, and I would watch the line of coming out of guest relations grow bigger and bigger and bigger,
no.
because that person sitting behind the counter, now they were in charge of the weather that day. It was their fault that it had rained. It was their fault that Phantasmic didn't happen, and they would have to do something about it.
It's tough.
And it's a tough role, because I couldn't understand it from both sides. I couldn't understand it from the side that you're a guest and you're frustrated that you have paid all that money and haven't seen what you'd paid to see. But I get it from the cast member point of view that it's not in their control. You can't help the weather at the end of the
No.
day.
And I like people who are paying for a VIP tour. So the number of cast members who are conducting VIP tours, and these are really costly activities, and,
Yeah.
and you get so many privileges. I have seen so many cast members pushing like pushchairs and strollers and collecting, like carrying all the bags. They're like a pack horse, and they're
Yeah.
basically doing all of that
Yeah.
for the guests. I'm just thinking, is that in the job description really? But
Yeah.
I guess you do whatever you need to do at the time. But
I think that's a good call out, Claire, because actually, that's the bit that we don't really consider.
right.
And it's one of those things that when you see it in action, again, I think you or I, if we were on the same sort of thing, we would never ever have somebody carrying all the bags and the pushchair and this.
I would never
you
dream
know,
of asking
No.
the cast members
No.
to carry my backpack.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
It
not.
happens.
No,
It
it's
happens.
no, it's no, I don't know, it's being polite, isn't it? But
Okay. Right. Last one, because I'm aware of the time. John, just for you.
I
Is
think
this the best cast member role in all of Walt Disney World?
yes, completely, 100%.
Power of terror.
And when Anna either watches or listens to this, she would totally agree as well.
Being a
I think-
bellhop.
I think if you do it and you can stay in character as much as possible and get a bit of enjoyment out of being in character, because you have to be in character to actually
Yeah.
to do it.
This is it.
It also
Gotta
allows you
go
to
with
shout a little. You can shout a little bit at people who are not complying and this, that, and the other, because you're in character. But it'd be amazing. It really would.
I was going to say, I had a conversation with a friend last Friday who had taken her children to Disneyland Paris. She'd never been before. And the first attraction they went on was Tower of Terror. And, right? She didn't know what it was.
Trial by
She
fire.
hadn't done any reading at all. And her youngest child is 4. Just about 4.
Wow.
But she's quite tall.
Yeah.
So they took her on Tower of Terror and they got in the queue, and apparently she said that she was a bit confused why people were looking at her in a strange way. And they got to the front of the line, and her youngest child was old enough and big enough to go on it, and she said the cast member, the person working there was really scary. They were super stern. And they were just super scary at this point. And I was like, yes. Did you go on Tower of Terror? And she was like, oh, is that what it's called? I'm like, yes. Yeah, their smallest child was a little bit traumatised.
Oh,
but
wow.
actually, in some ways, she said that the characterisation of what was going on was incredible. But,
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion, Tower of Terror, what an opportunity to act every day and have some fun.
Oh, just amazing. And actually, I think there has been a change in how you can actually do the role within the pre-show as well, because there were some times in the past where it got particularly sort of scary and stuff like that. But
Well, I think
Karen
Rise
said
of the
she'd be
Resistance
better in a
possibly
dead
rewriting the
role.
rules though again, though, isn't it? Because that's even a bit,
Yeah.
that's a bit
Yeah.
borderline sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Karen says she'd be better in a deadpan role like that than something like a Jungle Cruise skipper. So
there you go. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I just
and
think
cool costumes.
Yeah, we haven't really even got into the actual
that's a whole other
costume.
show.
It is, and I think we'll keep it for another show, because actually some of the detailing, and this is this is why it's been so good having Josh and Morg on the show tonight, because actually what we've actually got is a real insight from a cast member's perspective, and yet we've left the actual detailing of some of the outfits and some of the costuming that we can keep for the future, which is even better. Which I like.
Long, John.
Hey, there you go. I knew we could do it, Claire. Yeah.
Tower of Terror once and done for me.
Oh, Heather. Oh.
I scream like a banshee.
Heather, I don't
and
even do
I'm
it.
proud of it. Morgan has never been on Tower of Terror.
And I never will.
I'm gonna
You will.
bore
You
you
will.
stupid. And it's
I
2000,
tried.
2011 when our Joe was
heard the
too.
story.
It was too small, and we did. Was it Summer Night-tastic? And we were annual pass holders that year, because we went the Christmas and then we went the summer, and so it was basically we got to ride Tower of Terror as many times in a row as we possibly could. So it was the two of us. I think we got to 11 and decided that was enough. So 11 times back to back. It's just like
I've
absolutely
done
spot
Buzz
on.
Lightyear like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
Ago, obviously.
Yeah, it took us a while to actually get our equilibrium back together. They actually just opened the doors, and we didn't, after the first 2 or 3 times,
This
they just
feels
opened
like
the
another
doors,
show.
and we didn't get. Yeah, we went straight through. Didn't get the pre-show.
John, I put it down on your post-it note. This is a show. Which rides can you stay on and keep repeat riding?
Oh yeah.
Rewrite.
And then you need to make it a challenge when we're out there in the summer to see how many times you can do it.
What a great idea! Because like people go on the people
I've-
mover and just stay on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Well, that's
going to say that could be a
understandable.
pretty short show, because
That's
I
a-
could just stay living with Dan from
I was
Yeah.
going to
The
say, how
start
many
of the
times
day
can
to
you
the end of
do
the
it over before you fall asleep?
Yeah.
That's a topic for future conversation.
I think it definitely is. Yeah, and I'm going to go back to where we started, Claire. I'm just going to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been in the chat. Ben and Becca, if you're still watching from Panda Express, enjoy it. And actually everyone else in the chat, if you follow our socials at GB Mickey Waffle, Ben and Becca have been updating some of the photos on the amazing trip. We can all keep in touch with them. You know, it's that wonder of social media that I occasionally have problems
You're
with.
never away.
No, but everyone in the chat, a massive thank you for being part of the show. For the people who've joined us, and this is the nice thing. If you're new to the show, thank you for joining us. We've had two new people from Canada join us as well. We are global. I might have to restart the whole show. It's just like we are actually.
Global.
A global Wednesday night show, but it's been brilliant. I love the fact that you can come in the chat and you can be part of it. Morg and Josh, thank you very much. You see,
Thank you for having us.
what Josh actually managed to do for me, and this is for regular watchers on a Wednesday night. If there's Champions League on, my eyes would be taken off the screen, and I would be doing that.
John
But
regularly is just like that.
But Josh
I've done it for
is
you.
very handy. He's just been writing it down for me when people are scoring and things like that. It could be a future plus for the for future Wednesdays.
Well, there's the occasional moment where you both just go,
Yeah,
Yeah. We all saw it. It's okay.
it's just like, yeah, I think that was when Spurs scored the second goal. But as always, it is that midweek hug, and I actually feel as if you come away from the show on a Wednesday and it's actually we're ready for the end of the week. We know Claire is, because she's not going to work until next week,
Right.
so that's an evident bonus. But yeah, I just think it's quite a nice time to just say thank you for watching. We've got a brand new podcast out and that's coming on Sunday.
Yes.
So be ready for that. It's the February show. I think we're more planning. I can't even remember what we were talking about because that's...
Do you know what? I think it's just about flights and all of those things. But John, I'm super excited about the show that we're recording on Monday night, which is our 15th of February show. If you've ever wondered about how you could plus your trip with something extra, 15th of February will be an amazing show to listen to because we have got a friend joining us who is an expert in all of those things, who's never been on the show before. So I'm really looking forward to that discussion.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be incredible.
This is a tricky bit now.
Oh, have you fallen foul of the tech now, John?
No, it's the which. It's the which. No, I've got the outro video, but if I press end stream, does that play the outro video?
I have no idea.
not.
I know. Who knows?
I'm going with
what's
the.
gonna happen?
I'm
Is
going
he-
with the outro video. Thank you
Thank
for
you for
watching,
joining us.
everyone. we might be back again, just in another 30 seconds, and we'll be all sat there going, that didn't work. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Claire. Thanks, Mog. Thanks, Josh. It's been brilliant. It really has been such a good laugh. And we'll see you soon.
See you real
See you later.
See? Stay on track, Mog. Mog,
See you real soon is
There you
what
go.
we say.
You even got
Is it?
you even got your mum to say it, and she never says it on her.
I thought it was still waffle on.
Press the button, John.
I'm trying to, it's not working.
Now my